The Council President and I want to provide you with an update as it pertains to the referendum petitions seeking to repeal the city council ordinance on the 2017 Quicken Loan Arena Transformation Project. As you know, on Monday, May 22nd, the Office of the Clerk of Council, determined that they could not legally accept the petitions as it would unconstitutionally impair an already executed and binding contract. Now, this is a valid legal argument. The referendum petitioners, however, demanded that our law director file a writ of mandamus to force the clerk to accept and certify the petitions if the clerk of council did not voluntarily do so. They argued that legally under the city charter, the clerk could not refuse to accept or certify the petition. Now, this also is a valid legal argument. So we have two conflicting legal arguments, two conflicting legal issues. And before I go further, just let me explain to you, this has nothing to do with Q-Deal itself. Both myself and the council president are on record as supporting that, so this has nothing to do with the Q-Deal. This is really about two constitutional legal arguments, one interfering with a contract and the other basically whether or not people would be denied the right to vote based on the referendum petition. Now, we do not want to take an unconstitutional action, whether it is around interfering with a contract or denying people the right to vote under referendum. And both of these legal arguments and both of these issues, constitutional issues, are very important to us, and because they speak to the rights of our citizens. So the council president will outline to you the process that brings this resolution to hopefully some conclusion, and whatever that conclusion is, we will abide by that conclusion as a city. Okay?
Thank you, Mayor. The law director has informed me that she has filed a mandamus action in the Supreme Court of Ohio. This action was the action that the petition committee requested. It is also the process that is set forth by law. But most importantly, this is the most expeditious way to resolve this important issue that the mayor outlined. By going to the Supreme Court in this manner, we will be able to resolve this and give the people on any party to this issue the resolution that they deserve in the quickest way possible. And as the mayor stated, what the court says will be the rule of law that we will follow.
Questions?
What exactly will the court be deciding?
There are two issues you want to explain.
The two issues is whether the referendum is an unconstitutional impairment of a contract, or will the court decide that it is not, and that the clerk should submit the petitions to the Board of Elections.
It's basically between the two legal arguments that you described.
Yeah.
And is it the council arguing against the city law director?
It is. I mean, it's a procedural mechanism that sounds a little awkward at first, and to everybody that first heard it sounded that way. But the way that the charter reads in a taxpayer action is yes. The law director is going to be filing the mandamus action against the clerk, and for those reasons, both parties have chosen to get outside counsel to represent them, just based on any potential conflict that may exist over previous discussions.
When was this filed? Today?
It is going to be filed today. I don't know if it's filed yet.
Okay.
Is it filed?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, did you say the city has outside counsel as well?
Both have outside counsel. Both the law director and the clerk Have outside counsel. Yeah.
You have any sense of what kind of timing you have here?
No, but the last time we were involved in a mandamus action, it was about 8 weeks.
And that was around?
That was around the minimum wage issue.
They have to accept it first and then you go through a briefing process?
Yes. Yes, but this is unlike, I mean, this is the type of matter that the Supreme Court will accept directly, as opposed to, a longer process of filing common pleas, 8th District Court of Appeals, and then Supreme Court.
It's something that you go that route anyway.
Yeah, that's where we want to get this. Like we say, both the mayor and I, we've had long conversations about this issue in terms of the fact that, people did sign a petition. We respect that. We don't want to deny, anybody their rights, and we thought that it's really important that we take the course that resolves this issue for all parties that are involved.
In a quick manner.
In the quickest manner possible.
And then are the possibilities that the court would uphold the clerk's decision on one hand, or they would initiate like the normal procedure for reviewing the signatures and setting the Board of Elections?
I believe it'll be one of those two options. I'm obviously not going to be the attorney in this case, but I believe it's going to be that. The issue, I believe, before the court's going to be, does this impair the contract, or is the clerk to forward those petitions to the Board of Elections?
Does this then, I guess my question basically gets down to is, does this step mean that the city remains in control of who the lawyers are versus outside parties coming in?
Well, the quick answer is yes, because if in fact the clerk has a counsel and then the law director has a counsel that is picked by the law department, that's correct. So anybody could bring the action, but the request is my understanding, the request to the law director was that she take this action. And in order for her to take this action, she's already representing the clerk in this, so she cannot take this action. So there's an outside counsel who would take the action. And then there has to be another outside representation of the law director herself, usually. Yeah. See, so what they're actually doing is doing what they ask us to do.
And I just want to, if I can add to what the mayor said, the reason that was done, quite frankly, is, how it looks. You got the law director adverse to the clerk, and they, had conversations. But when the lawyers, we chose some of the best municipal lawyers in town to, kind of resolve any issue that this was, we could have just had it where the law director just filed it, and then the clerk went and got her own counsel and not dealt with the conflict issue. Or just waived the conflict. We could have done that, but I think when you look at the quality of the attorneys that are going to be on both sides of this, you'll realize that this is not something that we're doing to make this, quick or easy. We're going to really lay out the legal issues and come to the right conclusion.
I guess it leaves me two pieces. One, can you give me the names of those lawyers when we're done here? But the other is, does that, and this is what I was leading up to, this then would preclude the lawyer for the petitioners from filing their own taxpayer action because the law director didn't refuse to do so?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I don't practice in this area enough to answer that conclusively, but I believe so.
But it is following the request.
Yeah, it's following the request. It's following the charter. It's doing. We're going to get this issue resolved as quickly as possible.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks everybody.